As the privileged access management, or PAM market, has grown around the world and the requirement for PAM has grown in the Middle East and around the world, we've seen an explosion of PAM competitors trying to compete at the top place in the market. BeyondTrust are a global leader of this market. We define what PAM is and we help our customers solve the critical problems. This paper is really discussing ways at which some of our competitors have blurred those lines and really busting the myths that have been created around what PAM should be and how it should handle the environment that we work in today. It's a model that was coined by Forrester in 2010 that certain vendors in the PAM space have coined for themselves. But as a model, we believe it is unachievable. With the explosion of bring your own device, DevOps, the digitalization of the environment, there's just too many unknown devices which aren't capable of adopting a zero trust model. We follow the just-in-time privilege management principle, which extends the right amount of privilege for the right amount of time, which Gartner outlined in the 2018 Magic Quadrant for PAM. Shared accounts are commonplace in the IT administrative space. They enable administrators to do their jobs, but it's well known they carry significant risk. If a shared account is adopted by a bad actor or a piece of malware, it has the ability to cause devastation within an environment. BeyondTrust do not advocate the use of shared accounts and do not require them to implement an effective privilege management implementation. Password management only deals with privileged credential management. Whilst this is important within a PAM implementation, the breadth of a PAM implementation is much larger than that, the tip of a password management iceberg, if you like. We can manage things such as Unix or Linux accounts, enforce least privilege, ensure that we control third-party access. We have application-to-application management. We have privileged analytics and a whole set of reporting that is required from privilege management to effectively understand where your threats occur in the marketplace. Whilst privilege management is about managing credentials, it's not the only thing that PAM should do for you. Privilege management should be integrated to your Windows domain, which is where Active Directory controls, but your privileged accounts will certainly sit wider across your organization when you think about Unix or Linux. And when you think about mobile devices, they say they account for over 50% of all activity in a network these days, and they're not connected to your domain. And these are critical elements of a complete and comprehensive PAM implementation that BeyondTrust can help you with. That it's definitely not a myth that it should be just Active Directory, which is a limited implementation in our eyes. Typically, password management tools manage personal passwords within an environment, and we can think of the online tools that we can use to manage it, and they play an important role, but they should not be used for third-party vendor access. They'll still use a VPN, which is a known threat within an environment. Privileged remote access controlled properly, not using a VPN, with full session recording, which gives you all the tools to ensure that nothing's going through the session correctly, are really important when it comes to securing third-party vendor access. A good PAM tool should not be difficult to install, should not be complex, and cover the whole breadth of what Gartner would consider a full implementation of PAM should be. BeyondTrust have an exceptionally simple to install product that covers the full spectrum of functionality, and we work alongside service partners or SIs to be able to do out-of-the-box integrations and give you a complete analytical platform to manage your PAM solution. Understanding these 6 myths will ensure that you have an effective defense against control of privileged accounts. BeyondTrust have a complete PAM platform from password management to secure remote access and endpoint least privilege, which will ensure that we can protect every important credential across your environment.